Hello world, I am Ivana, and in this video I would like to show you how I created the UI for the Helping Hive app. In this app I've talked about in some previous videos about creating the UX for the app, and now I want to show you the UI, how it looks, well, at least the one of the pages, how I decided on the colors, the typefaces, and creating the design system for it. It's not super extensive, but I think it will help you understand how I take the UX part, the prototype, and I start overlaying the UI on top of this. Okay, if that's interesting, let's go to the computer. All right, we're back at the computer now, and I'm gonna share you my screen again, and we will walk through the UI part of the project, Helping Hive. If you remember from the last video, Helping Hive is a web app that connects people who want to volunteer locally with either campaigns, local campaigns, or organizations, sort of like a social media, like a Facebook, but for volunteering. At least this is the main point of it. It's not a real app yet. This is only my course project, so please don't go search for it. So the cover, I just explained what the platform is going to be about. And we have a user journey map we needed to create for this project. So I created a very simple one. And the point of the journey map is to get the user through the main user flow of your app, and how they will then, what will make them return to your app. So my main point was that how the user goes on the platform is through the register, and the end point of this is to sign up for a campaign, as you can see down here. Let me cursor highlight, because I forgot in the previous videos. All right, hopefully this will be more visible. To sign up for a campaign, how do we return the user or help them actually return other users? Is to leave a review for the campaign. This is we would want to make them do this. So how do I start planning for the UI and how it will look and stuff like this? So we create mood boards so that we can get a better understanding of what we will be designing. We want some cohesion, and we want good flow of the elements. We want the colors to be nice and to go well together, and we want typefaces and shapes and stuff that would fit the brand or will fit the message of the brand. And so all of these things we gather in these mood boards. We had to make 2 mood boards for our project. This is why there are 2 mood boards here. The first mood board is the Tech Beehive concept. In this concept, I wanted to create a more, I don't know if serious is the right word here, but the edges are sharp, more sharp edges. The typeface, for example, is a bit more straight letters, and it looks more techy. Why I named it Tech Beehive is because, well, from Helping Hive, obviously, I took the beehive concept and I ran with it for this mood board. And this was obviously from the beginning I had this idea. And the other concept is the helping concept. The helping word of the name ends up being this concept. What is the main point here? It's to have a bit more friendly shapes and typefaces, some asymmetric illustrations, blobs, and like rounded edges, hands that will help you. You know, they are also, for many volunteering organizations, they are like in the logos and stuff. So those are used a lot. That's why I had this in mind. These typefaces, I mean, I could have gone with some more, let's say, kiddish looking typefaces for this. I like these, but I ended up not going with this concept anyway. So I chose the Take Beehive one. And for the project, what we need to submit for the project is to create a homepage. The homepage layout I took from the UX project. Obviously, I've already had the layout there, like which sections should follow which sections, and what CTAs we should have on the landing page and stuff like this. And we learned in this course for UI fundamentals that the hero sections should stand out, and something should stand out in it. There should be a big CTA, a big heading with what we are about. This is why if you remember the previous project, the hero section did not look like this. It had actually a form that I would prompt the user to register from the beginning. However, I couldn't figure out how to make it look nice with the image. And so I decided to just create a big image and big heading that would go together and prompt the user to sign up anyway. We do prompt them here, sign up, and here, sign up now. So there are 2 CTAs anyway. So what I decided to do was implement the hexagons a lot in this visual representation. Where this started from actually is from a logo concept that I had, and this is where I explained it. The logo is very simple, made out of hexagons and in the shape of H. Actually, these are 2 variations, like one is black and the other one is in colors. They don't go together HH like this. They're two different variations. And also here, they are white logos on one of the primary colors as background. Right, so I thought this was a nice concept. The hexagons make up an H, Helping Hive, so two H's. So I thought it was a good idea. You'll tell me in the comments if it's not. And the secondary logo variations is just Helping Hive with the logo mark here. I decided to create some patterns because the hexagons are a nice element to create big patterns with. Like you can basically make it's a modular element that you can piece things together very easily. And so I thought it would look like a great pattern. Also, it looks like a beehive or honeycomb. Right, yeah, so this is the logo. And so from the logo, I decided, we will make a lot of hexagons. And so what better way to put the photo than as a hexagon, right? And the pattern that I showed you with the hexagons that look like a honeycomb is in the background, very light. I don't know if you can see it very well on the screen. I hope you can. If not, the prototype is on my Behance, so you'll be able to check it out. So after the hero section, we have an about section. What is this platform about? We do so much good. Look at us. We've done all of this. Hopefully one day maybe we will. If this ever goes live, I will be happy if people sign up, obviously. And to prompt people to sign up again is to show visually what the campaigns are about. So I've imagined a video here. I did the pattern again just to distinguish, the sections one from another, and connect with friends also in the hexagons, photos in hexagons, just to have some continuity with the patterns and the shapes and stuff like this. And the cards that we had in the UX project translate to these in the UI project, and The campaigns card, because there are two different cards, obviously, for campaigns and for organizations. The campaign cards, I decided to have which organization is this campaign organized by. In the organizations cards, I thought it would be nice to see how many members it has. So, because you can see the biggest ones, and obviously you can read what the organization does, but seeing actual like members who have signed up, maybe it's your friends who have signed up for it, you can see the pictures down here, avatars or whatever. This makes people feel like they belong to something or they would want to belong. That's why I decided to include small images. And the footer is actually, this is where the form went. It went into the footer. Last prompt to sign up now is getting your email and password from here. Yeah, I think this is it. It's very, I think, minimal. It's very clean to me. The mobile version is sort of similar. There isn't that much difference except for like obviously the sizes of the photos. These 4 cards go on 2 lines as 2 by 2. Here I didn't want to include too many photos or the section would have become too long. The cards, I didn't include all of them. I did include 3, one under the other. And yeah, that's it. Basically, in the footer, still here, the same things. Right, well, I hope you like this page. In the future, I would like to make more pages. I just need to find time to finally sit down and create more pages. But the other part of this project that we needed to submit was a design system for our project. And what the design system includes is all of the elements of your project and your brand, the like typography, colors, all of the buttons, cards that I have below these cards here as well. Like all of these things should be included in your design system. It's like a language which you use to create more the next pages, or you onboard someone into your project, they use your design system to create more pages. I really like the concept of design systems. It is something that I did want to create at some point, so I'm glad I got to experience this in this project. And so here on the left, you could see my design system pages are, well, first of all, we have brand guidelines. You already saw these. Color palette is, I wanted to include the primary colors that I used. The system colors I didn't get to use yet, but I saw that many design systems have these, like green for success and red for errors. So I included them here. Neutral colors I used a lot because I didn't want my black to be full black, especially for the text on the main page. The typography includes obviously which typefaces I chose. These are the 2 typefaces, and the Della Gothic one I chose for the headings. That's why, because it looks also much better in like big type like this. And the main text typeface is Montserrat. It's my favorite, if you didn't know. And so for the typography, I included the headings that we have so far, which is not a lot because I don't have a lot of pages created. We have on desktop heading 1 and heading 2, and on mobile heading 1 and heading 2. It's good for you to include the pixel value and the rem value. Why is the rem value important? Those will be used by the developers later on. They shouldn't be using pixels when they recreate your designs on the web. At least not anymore. Anyway, you should also include the line height, preferably, especially if the heading is followed by another text like a subheading or like more body text or something like this. For the headings, I chose line height of 1.2. This is what I've been taught. And the subtitles, again on desktop and mobile, they're smaller helping text under the headings. And for them, I also have the size value with pixels and rems. And also line height for them is 1.5 because usually the subtitles are a bit longer text. Maybe not in my example. Let's see the home page. My example, yeah. I mean, mostly for the mobile. So better readability with 1.5 line height. And here I made two components for heading 2 on the home page and text under heading section so that I can reuse it on the home page. Like every section has one of these, like it has a big heading and a subheading or subtitle, the same on mobile. And so I just reuse this component. And if I need to change something on it, I just change the component and it changes everywhere. I don't need to do anything else. I don't need to go on the homepage and change everything. You know how Figma works, okay? Right? Like this is heading 1 actually, but these are heading 2 and subheading under heading 2. So those are all component instances, right? Now my grids, I included them because for the design, I used the grid because my cards, they needed to be split up 3 columns, 4 cards on 3 columns. And down here are 3 cards, each of them taking 4 columns. You know, for desktops and for laptops, the grids are 12 column grids because you can basically do all kinds of layouts. You can do full width, half width, you can divide it by thirds, quarters, or sixths. It's very easy. Like this, 12 is very flexible to use. And on mobile, there isn't that much you can do on mobile, so 4 columns, and it's full width or half width layout. Like you cannot really do much. You don't have that much space to play with. The spacing, we used the 4 pixel grid system, and so I used mostly these values for spacing. I think they worked pretty well. While you stay consistent, each probably grid spacing system is fine. This made me stay consistent because I learned pretty quickly what the values are. Like 60 was easy to learn, 44, 40, 24, 20, stuff like this. And I created components for all the buttons that I have, obviously. The main buttons and the secondary buttons. I have a hover and active state while they're on desktop. On mobile, they only have an active state. Inputs, I didn't end up using that much input as you saw. It's only in the footer 2 input fields, but I still created, components for them regardless. The cards, like I said, the campaign cards and the organization cards, and these those are different, from each other. So I had to create 2 different components. And these cards, because they had icons, I put the icons as components down here, and so you just change them. You change them by here. You don't see. Okay. You change them here, name, and then heart, people, pet, or truck. And yeah, it's easy. Last components are the navigation components. These will be, this is on desktop before you've signed up, and this is on mobile before you've signed up. And after you've signed up, the mobile, I was thinking to create this this burger menu that looks like a hexagon. It's really cute, but I still haven't gotten around to it. And that's it. I really hope you liked this UI so far. I also created a case study on Behance that you can check out.
A few moments later.
All right, well, it's a few hours later because my camera needed to recharge a little bit. So I have just a little bit left to show you. It's about my, well, case study for this UIA project. What I did, what I showed in it, so that if you want to create one of these, you can, if you want, of course, follow this. It's sort of similar to the UX case study. I just used that one for sort of as an example. Just this one is a bit more pretty because it has color and just these pictures, right? And the pattern behind. I wanted to be cohesive the with the brand or guidelines or design system or something, but it explains the same things as the UX one, like the name of the project, what it is about down here, my role as a UX and UI designer, and I was self-managed, which tools I've used. It's only Figma in this case. And duration is part of an online course. It was, I think, from October to like late November. The tasks that we had, I wanted to write them down here just to explain why I don't have a complete prototype with the complete UI here. And so the subject of the project is obviously the Helping Hive, my UX project continuation of it. Why I've added the patterns, I obviously wanted it to look like the home page that I've designed, and so I included these here. I explained the user journey map, why I did these steps of the user journey. I showed the mood boards because I think it's a good representation of your planning, your thinking, why you are designing in such a way, why have you chosen these colors or these shapes or like not rounded or rounded edges and stuff like this, or these typefaces, for example. So I decided to include them. I don't know if anyone will read all of these paragraphs, but if anyone is interested, they're here. They show which images I've included for the mood boards. In Behance, I included a prototype here of the homepage. And I wanted to include the design system in this sort of case study, even though I heard from other videos that no one is really looking at the design systems, don't include design systems. But because it was a part of the project and because I don't know, it's the first time I make a design system and I am proud of it, maybe a little bit, I wanted to include it. And that's why I wrote out all of the things I had in the design system, separated by these custom patterns here, obviously, just so that we can have a bit more cohesion between the project and the case study. You already saw all of this, the grids and spacing, the components that I've created, and we end with some more mock-ups here, and yeah, that's the end. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough through this project again. If you want to ask any questions down below or give me some feedback, write it in the comments. I will really appreciate it. Next in this project is possibly recreating this homepage on the web. And maybe I can show you this as well while I'm working on it. Like we can work on it together and we will write our own HTML and CSS. If you're interested, please subscribe to my channel and comments, discussions below. Everything is welcome. All right. Thank you and bye.